Match day, nothing actually beats being there. The shirts, the scarves, the game of two halves, the smells, the sounds. Why you let it bounce?
Yes! The top of the keeper! Yes! And in!
Goals bottom corner, all in the top bins, unstoppable headers, the last minute limbs.
It's the late show again from the Seagulls!
VAR and rules that are weird.
A team like Brighton.
And Graham's beard. Pascal's turns, massive hair. Big Rob saves, Trossard's flair. McAllister's flicks, mobile ticks, Lamptey's tricks.
You just can't get hold of him, can you?
And bicycle kick.
Oh, they've done it!
One of our own, Tony Bloom's Skoda, that guy Welbs, and of course, Jakob Moda.
He's done it again! Neil Mopey!
Match days, you love to see it.
Everybody, and a very warm welcome along to this My Albion TV live stream. The road to the 22-23 campaign starts here for Graham Potter's side. A little over 28 days until the Seagulls walk out at Old Trafford for the Premier League curtain raiser on the 7th of August. Before that though, as you can see, the scene is set here perfectly. Excellent conditions here at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre as the Seagulls welcome Belgian side Royal Union Saint-Gilloise. As you can see, teams making their way out onto the pitch, and let's have a look at the sides this evening. Expecting a lot of changes throughout the afternoon. The first half, as it stands, we're going to have Jason Steele in goal, Lewis Dunk, club captain, Solly March, Mark Kukurea, we imagine will be at left back, Michal Karbovnik, the Polish international, Adam Lallana, Matt Clark, who's come back from a season-long loan at West Brom, Danny Welbeck will lead the line, Adela Fire, you'd imagine, would be at right full-back, and the Seagulls fans get the first chance to see Paraguayan international Julio Enciso in action. Finally, Jensen Weir will start this evening. He's back from a season-long loan at Cambridge United. And a look at the visitors from Brussels. In goal, Luxembourg international Anthony Morris. Fullback of Bart Neuwkop. And Brighton player Simon Adingra, who has been loaned back to Royal Union Saint-Gilloise after signing from Dutch side Noord-Holland. Van Zer, who scored midweek in the 2-2 draw against the Luxembourg side. Christian Burgess, former Portsmouth man, will line up at centre half. Skipper, you'd imagine, for this evening, Teddy Teuma. Then we have Leinen, Ziani, Van der Heyden, who unfortunately scored an own goal in that game in midweek. Ishmael Kanous, and finally Arno Donny, the Belgian under 18. And so here we go then, the large swathes of substitutes that we see for this afternoon. Certainly for the Seagulls, we're expecting that lineup on the left will be the second half 11. So Kjell Scherpen, Tarek Lamptey, Steve Alzate, Joel Veltman, former Ajax man, Neil Mopey, Andy Sakiri, who's back in, Pascal Gross, Adam Webster, Jan-Paul van Hek, who enjoyed an excellent loan time with Blackburn last season, Kasper Kozlowski playing against his former side, Dennis Undav also playing against his former side. 25 goals in the Jupiler Pro League. As for the visitors, Pirat is the substitute goalkeeper. Casper Nielsen, Marcel Lewis, Ross Sykes, the Englishman signed from Accrington Stanley last year after 10 years with the club. Lapoussin, Boone, Berardi, Imbrechts. And there's a Mohamed Salah, not that Salah, El Mukhtari and Dennis Eckert make up the replacements. So we are just a few moments away from kick-off on a stunning evening. We had to take cover a little bit from the sprinklers earlier, so some impromptu measures to make sure all the kit stays dry, but we just about managed it. And A lot of the Albion fans, I'm sure, will have great memories of the hyper turquoise kit from last season, so they're sporting that again tonight. And as we see now, the Union players wander over. Well, from a Seagulls point of view, looking for more progression from Graham Potter's side. Club record in the Premier League, finish of 9th with 51 points. 10 points better than the season prior, exactly the same the season prior for that. And this is going to be Graham Potter's 4th season in charge. As for the visitors, well, Karel Gerards will step up. He was previously assisting Felice Mazou, who's moved to Anderlecht, in charge for next season. Gerards, a former Bruges, Standard Liège and Belgium national player, so plenty of experience on the pitch. Surprised, I must say, to see no caps from either keeper in this first half. Jason Steele and Anthony Morris just going to make do for the time being. And so it's the start of a busy pre-season for the Seagulls. After this, they will be on a training camp abroad for the week. Then they'll travel to the Madejski Stadium to take on Reading on the 23rd of July. There'll then be another behind closed doors friendly here against Brentford, and they'll cap it all off a week before the game against Manchester United start Premier League. That'll be against Espanyol at the Amex. USG a lot close to the start of their season. They've already had that 2-2 draw that I mentioned in midweek against RFCU Luxembourg. Before that, managed to win away 1-0 at KMSK Dainza, and they kicked off their pre-season with a 3-1 win away at Rus Rebequois. They've just got a trip to Portugal, Sporting Portugal on Wednesday the 13th, and then they finish it all off against Feyenoord on the 16th before their season gets underway at STVV on Saturday the 23rd of July. So the two skippers there, Lewis Dunk, Teddy Teuma. So now just the final few formalities before we're underway. Thumbs up from the referee, looks across to his assistants. And the Seagulls pre-season is officially underway. It will be USG to get us started. As I said, just over 28 days until the Albion will walk out at Old Trafford on the 7th of August. Intercepted there by Solly March on this near side. Van der Heyden there into Christian Burgess. Seagulls looking to apply the pressure early on. It's not giving them any time to breathe at the back there, this Royal Union Saint-Gilloise side. Here's the imposing Burgess once again. Signed from Portsmouth back in July a couple of years ago. Plenty of senior appearances in the EFL. Moved across Fly's trade in the Jupiler Pro League. This is Matt Clark, who enjoyed a good spell last season with West Brom on loan. Now Lallana, infield to Enciso. There's space over on this near side for March. Instead, Jensen Weir can take over. Does eventually find Solly March. Good early chance this for the Albion. Low ball across. Again, it's away by Burgess, who's been in the thick of it to start off with here. He's going to be a corner, the first one of the evening, which Solly March has stayed over there to take. Congested USG area. They go short, back from Weir. Oh, and that's not where Solly March wanted it, onto his right foot, but he does well to keep it in play. He's got Karbovnik as an option behind as well as Solly March. Lallana goes to help out, but wasn't initially over. This will fall to Kukurea. USG just trying their best to stifle the Seagulls. Weren't able to complete the clearance on a couple of occasions. Seagulls equally couldn't punish them. Good first foray forward though for the men in hyper turquoise. There goes over Julio Enciso to put the pressure on. Boxed in there. Solly March and Enciso have stayed up. Really good work. It's Van der Hayden who's under pressure there. Van der Hayden, the former FC Eindhoven, signed back in 2019. Before that had spells with Oostende and Anderlecht. Started at Club Bruges. Clark gets it back now from Kukurea. Decent competitive start to this one. Seagull seeing more of the possession. Dunk tries to find Solly March, skips away from his man, looking to skip away from the second. Weir can pick that up in the middle. He's looked composed on the ball so far. Now a fire into Lallana. And Enciso made the run ahead. Space over for Kukurea on the left, but instead only Welbeck can take over. Looking to improve on his 6 goals last season, 6 the season before as well for the Albion. Slightly miscued clearance, and Welbeck can nip in here once again. Lallana over to Karbovnik. Kukurea's over there too. Julio Enciso looks up for goal. Will he strike it now? Oh, and he's looking for the return pass from Weir and brought down just on the edge of the area. I think the referee just wants to check that Enciso is okay more than anything else. Was never going to give the free kick. Back on his feet though. Good early signs though from Julio Enciso, a Paraguay international, made his debut at just 17 years old, gone on to make 4 other caps. Former Libertad. This is the skipper, Teuma. Down the line there. Brighton make light work of it. Still need to complete the clearance. There's Karbovnik, who's been popping up here, there and everywhere. Now Lallana, neat turn from him. Just sends one down the channel for Enciso. Morris alert to it, hovering on the edge of his area. And it's Burgess who can get us back underway. So it's the Seagulls who've settled in the better. But USG sticking to their task. Haven't seen too much of Simon Adingra, but he's maybe looking for the one down the channel here. Just inside. Now we will pick it up against Delafire. Goes to ground. Nothing doing. Brighton throwing. In a hurry. Decent tempo and pace about this one. Considering it's an opening pre-season encounter. Will please the Albion fans. And here's another decent pocket of space found by Enciso. He's been lively early on. And again brings into play March. Trying to get the better of Van der Hayden. Sliding in. Still going March. Teddy Teuma making a nuisance of himself. So a fire can go over left to Clark via Dunk. Striding forward. Former West Brom and Derby loanee. Now Kukurea. Almost showed a bit too much of it to Adingra. Play goes on. All the outfield, 10 Brighton players in the Union half. Patient play, see the runs down the channels, and instead there's always an option in the middle. Karbovnik now, and Lallana always willing to turn. They've done it again and found Kukurea. Nice phases of play and build-up. Enciso again, down the middle. Just about crowded out. Kukurea shoves back into it, much to the applause on this near side from the Seagull staff. Kukurea does keep it in. Cleared by USG, but then backfire Clark to Kukurea. Both flanks proving a good outlet for the Seagulls so far. Here's a fire. Head down looking to drive on. Adingra just let him go. This is March, gives it back to a fire. Holds it up really well. 3 yellow shirts around him. Not too pleased though. Thought for a minute he maybe hadn't won the throw-in. A few yards back he goes. Gets it back from Enciso. Back into the skipper Dunk. Right in front of us here above the gantry. We're wedged in between the 2 dugouts. Welbeck dropping deep. And again, the majority of those in Hyper Turk occupying the USG half. This will fall to a fire. Gets there ahead of Adingra. Now Dunk. Dunk, who makes his next Premier League appearance, will be 375th Brighton appearance. Made his debut way back in the 09-2010 season, the penultimate at the Withdean Stadium, the longest serving player, the club captain. This is over on that far side, Ismail Kandus. Inside of him is Senna Leinen. But again, it's given away. Jensen Weir surges forward down the centre, brought down by Ismail Kandus, and this time there is a free kick a bit further back from where Enciso was asking for a free kick earlier, just in the D. But he's already grabbed hold of the ball. Not too much of an angle to work with, just left of centre. Must be about 25 yards from goal, this one. And the Union wall just on the edge of the area, to the right of the D, as you can see there. Lewis Dunk trying to make a nuisance of himself. So the first chance to try and execute one of their training ground routines. Enciso with the effort, good smart save down to his right from Morris. Danger not clear just yet, and it will be a goal kick to Union. Well, as soon as the free kick was won there, it was Enciso who picked it up. Eyes for that bottom left corner. Not the worst strike in the world, and it forced a smart stop there, as I say, from Anthony Morris. Now one for Van der Heyde to chase. Steele called upon outside of his area. This could be the first goal of the game, but for Lewis Dunk, really important block. Still needed to find the net there, but Dunk made sure of it, stamped on that. And now normal services resumed. Fire back into the skipper. Along the deck it goes to March. Now Welbeck. This is Matt Clark. Space over him on that far side. First time from Lallana to Karbovnik. They've exchanged decently on a few occasions. Now a fire. Weir just took his eye off that one, but otherwise he's been operating nicely in that kind of midfield 3. Won it back though here, the Albion. This could be dangerous. Lallana down the right. He's got Welbeck in the middle, put behind by Burgess for the second Albion corner of the evening. Good work there from Lallana, using all of his experience, former Liverpool Saints man. So another chance then for Solly March to provide the assist. Well, who knows, maybe he'll hang it up into the top left corner from the corner. Hand goes up. Towards that back post it goes. Morris didn't get there. Fall to Cucurella. Would have been some effort from there. You could tell he was thinking about it even for just a split second. Recycled back out to Solly March once more. Adingra thought he'd prodded it out, but March kept it in. Teuma. There to Van der Heyden. Back to the skipper Morris. Van der Heyden once more. And for the first time this evening, a bit of space opens up in the middle of the park, but as soon as it happens, the Albion overturn possession once more. That's loose from March. Again, Karbovnik can just step in. Maybe just showing here that slightly fresher legs, as I said at the outset. USG already midway through their pre-season campaign. And they've got a trip over to Portugal to take on Sporting Portugal, and then Feyenoord for their final game of pre-season. Morris looking for Adingra. Does really well to keep it in on the half volley. Then looking for the return ball. Nods it in field. Gets it back there from Arno Donny. You step overs, sticking to his task there of 5. That's a decent whipped cross in. Don't get something on it. So too does Clark. This falls out to Leinen. Over to the right flank now with Nuvkop. And this time it's Cucurella who gets his body in the way. Taken quickly by Union. Just trying to bide their time. This is the first time really that the Albion have been penned back this evening. A glorious Sussex night as Adingra looks to flick in field of March. This is back now with Leinen. Over to the right flank with Kandus. Nuvkop is over there too. This is better from the visitors. First time ball down the line from Nuvkop. Clark read it. Now Weir needs to be careful there, but is able to find, an outlet with Dunk and then a fire. Shows some composure just to knock it back first time to Steele, and all of a sudden Union just settle back into their shape. This is Clark. He's had a decent opening alongside of Lewis Dunk, and now it's Welbeck who's just temporarily switched over as he's dropped deep to this right inside flank. Again, Adingra just getting a bit more of a sniff as this first half goes in, just past the quarter of an hour mark here. There is Matt Clark once more. Hopefully he got a slightly clearer shot as well on our camera lens. It was battle of the sprinklers earlier, but we're back in play now, and that's a decent ball down the line which Matt Clark needs to be really careful of. Van Zer, in it goes towards Adingra, appealing for the penalty. Nothing doing again from the referee. Van Zer, who scored, as I say, in midweek. Looking to turn provider there for Adingra. Van der Heyden back in now to Burgess. Welbeck just trying to cramp him a space there, and you can see the turquoise shirts flood forward, just try and cramp Those in yellow, any space. March doing a good job of that now. Van der Heyde back into Burgess. Morris forced into the first time clearance. Does find its way over to the flank though. Good chance for Union to break. Muvkot. Ball into Ziani. Just growing into this one for the first time again. Not necessarily penned in, but they're dropping deeper here, the Seagulls. Van der Heyden. Left-footed ball, decent one. Oh, and this could be the chance for Van Zer at full stretch there, Matt Clark. Had to get that one right. Just about to pull the trigger there, Van Zer. Tasty ball in from Van der Heyden as well. Controls it well enough there, Van Zer. But Matt Clark, who, as I said, done incredibly well so far in his opening 17 minutes or so. He's got this corner to defend. So slightly against the run of play. Can the skipper, Teuma, provide the delivery required? Oh, and it's flicked on there at the back post by Kandus, who leapt highest by some way. Steele was stranded. I'd be hoping they could have done a bit better there. Certainly the best chance of the evening so far for the visitors. Vicious whipped ball in from the corner from Teuma. Couldn't quite apply the finish. And Steele gets us back underway. Good control again from Welbeck. Looking on this near side for March once more. A couple of shirts around him, but that's a little bit of ill discipline. You can expect that with the offside flag going up. And Union not messing around. A few step overs there from Ajungra. He's let it go. He's made the secondary run, and here he is again. Good first touch that to bring Linen into play. There's a slight infringement there, which the referee's brought it back for here on this near side. Saw it early, that one, so he's just coming over to explain exactly where he wants it taken to Teuma. Teuma goes short. Slightly with the element of surprise, and that cross from Donny is just jumped in front of once again by March, who's needed more defensively here. The lively Adingra. March again needed to toe poke that one high and out for the throw. Took a nick on the way through though, so Brighton throw. Fire gets it back from Weir. Dunk now with a chance to look up. Doesn't go long. It's got Clark to the left. And Union just really are trying to stay as compact as possible and wait for their chances to break. Nipping in there was Linen over on that far side. Neat layoff first time that from Welbeck, and he was looking for the return from Enciso. So a chance now for Ziani over there. Now Burgess. As the half has gone on, there have been a few more occasions where the USG players have been able to maintain a shape in the Seagulls half. It'll be the Albion, certainly with the slightly better possession stats. Hunting impacts there to try and win it back, and they do enough to win the throw-in. Welbeck's made the run, but Kukure thought better of it. Enciso it is that will pick it up. Tries to turn as well. Rolls his man. Ishmael Kandus a little bit too industrious there, and Enciso been felled a number of times already. He's just that bit deeper than Danny Welbeck. Moved over again to this right flank. Weir back into a fire on halfway. Plenty of space over on the far side again if Dunk can move it over to Cucurella. He does via Clark. Now he can try to press on once more. You can hear the cry of move up from just to the bottom right of the screen here. In the away dugout. Side-footed that from Steele up to Welbeck. Really good turn, skips away from the challenge. Now look at this space for Solly March. Can just drive on and try and get the better of Donny here. Leaves it on a plate instead for Karbovnik. Just doesn't get the connection he wanted on that one. Excellent build-up play again though from Solly March, and the start of it was Danny Welbeck able to hold it up, turns, and it finds March in decent space. He just moves infield along the edge of the area, and then Karbovnik goes for the effort first time, but slightly miscues it. Clark gets to the header the second time. Karbovnik can't bring it down. Union clear up to Lewis Dunk. And they'll go back to Jason Steele. Well, that chance actually started with Jason Steele, shaping that ball side-footed towards halfway with Welbeck, and Ciso wants it again in the middle. Karbovnik now does look up, trying to make the run, just trying to spring the offside trap there. Adingra's ball back into play now. Donny's over here, but so too Teuma, the captain, to take over. Adingra. Lallana doesn't get that right, so moves all the way over to the right flank. This is Nuvko into Linen, and we're going to have a stoppage here. It looks as though it's Adingra who's gone down on the edge of the area. Back on his feet fairly sharply though. Both Union and Albion fans will be pleased to hear. So nothing major there. As we just tick past midway through this pre-season encounter, if you're just joining us. A couple of half chances. Ismail Kandous with the best for Union, nodding over from the corner. And Seagulls looking lively down either flank. This huge shot there from Karbovnik. And Ciso's gone close from the free kick earlier on. Ziani back into Burgess. Van der Heide. Now Teuma seems to be popping up everywhere he can. Lana gets his toe on that to put it out for the throwing ahead of Senna Linen. Teuma almost showed a bit too much to Welbeck, but they can complete the switch over onto that far side. Linen's in a bit of space in the centre circle. Ziani pursues their right flank instead, but again the Brighton shirts just surround the yellow, almost won it back. Linen over to Nuvko, backtracking there again is Welbeck. He's also had a good showing on this first outing in pre-season for the Seagulls. First time helped on by Burgess. Van der Heide looking up, gets it back from Donny, but again that's loose and it allows in March. Played it early trying to find Enciso, who just for the moment had moved over to the right flank, now looking to win it back in that number 10 position, taking it in turns to drop deep with Danny Welbeck. Van der Heide, a bit of space here for Donny. Instead just decides to exchange a pass with Burgess. Adingra, this time he can pick it up in a little bit of space. He just nipped in amongst a few Hyper Turk shirts. Still looking bright, away from Dunk, then toe ends it over to Linen, looking to complete the switch to Nuvko. And then just fizzles out into nothing. And as much credit can go to the Seagulls for their defending, as Union, you've just tried to stick to their task as the visitors, trying to spring the counter. Adingra thrown into the game, the Albion player of course, loaned back after he signed from Nord-Jylland. That's not the best pass from afire. Van der Heide can now stride forward in an advanced position. Linen Finds his skipper. He can't get away from Enciso and Lallana. Good work from that Enciso, and then Weir, first time, can allow the Paraguayan to drive down the middle. Away from Burgess, but Burgess stuck to it. Sliding challenge, it falls to March. In the area he goes. Weir's just dropped short. Still hanging on to it. Now Karbovnik just looking to bring it out perhaps back to this right flank. Patient play once more from the Albion. Once again, all those 10 outfield players in the Union half. Just feel the impetus of this attack maybe slowing down. This is Clark over to Kukurea. Biding their time. Welbeck again. Just forces Clark back slightly, but it won't matter too much. Again, Union just settle in. The Fire was looking for Welbeck. May get another chance to get at it from Adingra. So again, rather sensibly back into Dunk. Just stringing the passes together here, the Albion, waiting for their moment. This is Weir, former Wigan Athletic man. Does draw the foul. He's had a promising start this evening. Now Fire, former Bromley youth, signed back in 2017. Made his debut last season in the senior side. A mainstay at right back in the under-23s for the PL2. Moving to the under-21s this year. Reformatting secondary tournament in the Premier League. So Union go short. Over on that far side, it's with Gianni. Back to goal there was Nuvkup, but once again just crowded out. Seagulls in the midfield have done so well to overturn possession on a number of occasions, and Weir fancies his chances. Rather ambitious and speculative from there, midway through the Union half, opting to have a go. Trying to make an impression in front of Graham Potter as we approach the half-hour mark. As we expect a whole host of changes at half-time, but that's loose from Union. Kukurea wants to pick it up for the throw-in quickly. Finds Lallana. Back to the thrower, Kukurea, head up, low ball in, Burgess away. Welbeck and Enciso will stay in there. Lallana just about keeps it in. Clark stayed up as well. Good work from Karbovnik to keep the passing going, and it will be, though, a Union throw on that far side. So trying to keep the intensity up deep in the Union half. That time don't get it quite right, but Graham Potter won't be too displeased with that. They've certainly dictated possession, moved it across from flank to flank. Chested down there by Nuvkop. And in general, it's been a decent intensity for the first pre-season game for the Seagulls, as Kukurea may have an opportunity to have a go. Instead, he was trying to thread in Danny Welbeck. And again, Union defended well. They deserve their clean sheet so far as we pass the half-hour mark. Line and then just shrugged down there by Weir. And then a little bit of gamesmanship there from Teuma and Enciso, just trying to frustrate each other. Look at this, Enciso and Welbeck bursting forward again to ask the question. Welbeck pointing where he wants the rest of his team to press. And Morris's clearance won't stay in. Did get some contact from Van der Heide, but it's out for a Brighton throw. So excellent pressing again from the Seagulls. And it's with Lewis Dunk again as those in yellow just settle back in, drop into their own half. Matt Clark, head up. He's got Karbovnik down the line, so too Kukurea on that left side. Welbeck's called for it, hand up, didn't quite get that one right, Dunk, but Again, you can allow that for an opening pre-season game. There was Karbovnik making a nuisance of himself, almost won it back once more. Back into Morris though. Flicked on by Weir. And now Dunk could move forward in the Union half. March again. And Ciso was maybe just trying to leave that for Weir. And now Tamer's looking over to that right flank. Despite the slip, able to find his teammate over on that far side. Prodded into Linen. Got Donny and Adingra on this far side. Now then, chance for Adingra to get at the fire to the byline. Fortunately for Seagulls fans, straight into the hands of Jason Steele at the near post. And in a flash, Karbovnik is now trying to break. Left inside channel. Ciso ahead of him. Welbeck to his left. Unable to find Welbeck though. That's a little bit loose there. Taylor almost at a walking pace there. Now with Neuvecote. Back in from Van Zer. This is the only real occasions where the Seagulls have been content to let their opponents move forward, every now and then just dropping deep, gathering their breath. Donny wasn't able to make any use of it, so the Seagulls once again, ball at their feet. Just can control the tempo of this one, make the runs and spring the forays forward when they need. This is Weir dropping deep now. Again, March on the near side, Kukurea over on the far side of the options, and they've always got options down the middle with Lallana and Karbovnik. Here is the former, helped out by Clark. Just a little bit off the deck there for Karbovnik. Towering header though from Weir. It means that deft control from Lallana can hang on to it. Draws the foul from Teuma. Just crowded out there in Ciso, but wanting to get on the ball wherever he can, dropping deep. So is Danny Welbeck in this first half. Van der Heijden under pressure from March. There's Ciso again trying to win it back. Clearance looking for Adingra. Oh, and Adingra's got there ahead of Dunk. Can he get there ahead of Clark? Oh, they've got a man over as well with Van Zer. Big chance for the Albion player trying to cut in field. Showed a bit too much of it to Clark. Chance not over just yet. Van Zer. Deflected effort, just wide. Well, by far the best chance of the game so far, certainly for the visitors. Adingra just got there ahead of Lewis Dunk. Was able to move in field. Clark was backtracking and eventually got the telling touch in the first phase. And then Van Zer with the effort across. Just enough of a connection from the Albion player to put it behind for the corner. As we approach the final 10 minutes of this first 45. Something for the defenders to think about with this corner. Zayani's gone short. Header is in from Burgess, comfortable enough though from Jason Steele. As soon as he drops down to the deck, he's looking for the run of Ciso, but not quite on. He was tracked well by Zayani. It's a really important ball. Had to get that one right, Lallana, into Weir, because not only does open up the space, but if not, Union were in. Weir looks to set away Welbeck. And again, it's decent defending from Union, who've been able to find the outlet, but just have been too deep that they haven't been able to really create too many chances, with the exception of that Van Zer chance. Brighton doing everything to get enough bodies back and something on and out for the corner. Van der Heijden out. Fair bit of space over him on this near side, and Adingra again, instead it was Dunk before, this time got away from March neatly. So more the ball as the half grows. Slight miscue there from Zayani. Able to hang on to it though. Here he is again. First thought is to drive forward, looks into the box, then cuts back, which just allows back in Kukurea. Karbovnik just side foots it back into his path. Nothing on this near side really for Enciso to go with, so places it out to Cucurella once more. Now March does get involved. Karbovnik just allows it to roll out. Again, taken the throw-in quickly. No, it's a friendly from that point of view. Both sides in a hurry for the throw-ins. Weir was looking for Welbeck there. Once again, it's the veteran Teddy Teuma doing the business there in midfield. But for the vast majority, that's been the tale of the evening. When Union win it back, around halfway, Seagulls just trying to crowd out their opponents, winning it back on a number of occasions. They've had a good few breaks forward, and they'll be looking for another one here, USG. This is Leinen, afforded plenty of time here. Infield he goes now to Ziani. Clipping at his heels there was Weir. First time from Leinen. Again, there's that pocket of space for Adingra. This is Donny. The Albion just drop off. Teuma looking for the run from Nuvkop over on that far side. Can he get there? He can, and almost finds the feet of Van Zer. And again, Steele called into action. Claims that one well. Needed to. Van Zer was lurking. But in a flash, it's now with Enciso. Just moved out to the left flank. Driving infield now, still going. Maybe he was looking for Welbeck or March there. Gets a hug from his new teammate. Knew what the idea was. It's almost like two games tonight, and we start to see some of those legs fatigue. We expect the changes at half time. Burgess just floats that one over to the far side. Centre half counterpart Kandus back in now to Anthony Morris. Luxembourg international. 50 appearances for his country. Solly March there, a bit too strong in the challenge. So a chance then for a few guys take on some hydration. Need to on a day like today. Stunning setting, but it is very warm on the Sussex coast. Burgess just taking on some fluid as he gets the game back underway as well. Teuma. Now back via Van der Heide to Burgess. There's Enciso asking the question again. Can March get there ahead of Donny? He can't, but Brighton will have it back with Dunk. Everyone forward again except Clark and Afire. Weird stayed out on this near side, so too March. Karbovnik gives it back to Clark. Just over 5 minutes to see if they can open the scoring here, the Albion. Afire. Again, Union just dropping off slightly, but Van der Heide watched that the whole way, I thought. Unlucky to give away the free kick against Jensen Weir. Well, at first glance, it looked a decent challenge. Seagulls won't mind too much. Back underway. Dunk looking for March. Welbeck's up there too. Donny able just to let it bounce, and then half volley clearance up towards Jensen Weir, who heads it out for the throw. Well, I think overall for Enciso, first showing in a Brighton shirt, really promising. Tried to pop up wherever he can. That kind of second striker role, dropping as deep as the halfway line a number of occasions to try and start the play. Sure, fairly satisfied. The only thing that would have capped it off would have been a goal, but we do still have just over 4 minutes of the first 45 to go. As Adingra is just caught offside there. Dunk looking up. Enciso again dropping deep. Just wants to pick it up wherever he can in Ciso, and almost gets that one right to Welbeck. Burgess had to watch it the whole way. Forced into action as well as Kandus. Over on that flank, Karbovnik, who's been lively this evening as well. Ziani turning away from trouble there. Lukop. Karbovnik again was hustling over on that far side, and look at Enciso putting the pressure on Morris's kick. And now you hear the cries from the away dugout to try and press on, but they just want to keep their shape here, USG. Well, not enough on that from the return pass from Danny Welbeck. Now we see the pace of Adingra again. That battle continues up against a fire. Over to the far side, it was hung up perfectly over to the far post. Almost too much time to think about that header. And it was Bart Nuvkop who made the move forward, totally unmarked, timed the run perfectly, was picked out well, just doesn't get the header right. Again, that's the second brilliant chance for Royal Union Saint-Gilloise this evening. Haven't won over the possession stats, but a couple of gilt-edged opportunities. Can it be the Seagulls to get this game underway with the opening goal? That's a good ball in from Solly March to Welbeck. Bit of juggling on the edge of the area from Danny Welbeck. Does really well to hold on to it. Lallana. Weir will find March again. Faced up by Donny. He's trying to get to the byline. There's options in the middle. Hoisted clear only as far away now as Adingra. Left edge of the area. Sit back from Teome. Linen. And that's smart just to roll it away from Lallana. First time in field from Adingra. And there is a good amount of space on that right hand side. Adingra trotting forward as well on this near side along with Donny. Well, they've more than earned their clean sheet in this first 45 so far, with just over a minute of it to go. Bit of a late challenge there on Linen by Welbeck. Play goes on. Adingra has a crack. Just leaning back, didn't get it quite right. Well, a fairly slow start for Adingra, but he warmed up to this one on what is a baking hot day here at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre. I'm sure both Brighton fans and Union fans will have been paying close attention to see what they're in for. Fire slides in because he knew that Donny was lurking, and the free kick is eventually conceded. Fairly close proximity, edge of the centre circle. So last chance then to fire this one forward perhaps. Nope, that will bring an end to proceedings. So it's been Brighton who rolled the ball around a little bit better, but two of the best chances really have fallen to the visitors. Van Zer, also rising high before that, Van Koop. But at half time here at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre, it's Brighton Hove Albion 0, Royal Union Saint-Gilloise 0. So a chance then to look through the highlights of the first half. That free kick from Enciso. Just maybe not quite enough pace on it. Decent attempt nonetheless. Anthony Morris needed to get down to his right. And this is the shout here, just Jensen Weir dragging down his man. Uma going in strong there, but this is the effort from Adingra. Afire was back there, Clark was back there. Then it fell, to Van Zet. Jason Steele was happy to see that one fly wide.
Match day, nothing actually beats being there. The shirts, the scarves, the game of two halves, the smells, the sounds. Why you let it bounce?
Yes! The top of the keeper! Yes! And in!
Goals bottom corner, or in the top bins. Unstoppable headers, the last minute limbs.
It's the late show again from the Seagulls!
VAR and rules that are weird.
A team like Brighton.
And Graham's beard. Pascal's turns, massive hair. Big Rob saves, Trossard's flair. McAllister's flicks, mobile ticks, Lamptey's tricks.
You just can't get hold of him, can you?
And bicycle kick.
Oh, they've done it!
One of our own, Tony Bloom's Skoda, that guy Welbs, and of course Jakob Moda.
He's done it again! Neil Mopey!
Match days, you love to see it.
But you should be alright behind it because the wind's going that way.
Sure.
Next one down from the corner.
Yep, that one's up far side, and I'm standing by the other one.
The next one down from the one that just got on.
Luke, can you grab me a bag and bring it down to me? Because the guys at one of those sprinklers might come on.
So yeah, other side of the dugout.
One up from the corner.
Yeah, that's the one. It won't come past there.
It won't?
No, it's only a 180. So it's turning that way, but it will.
Yeah, it's alright, don't worry, he's running down with the bag anyway.
Yeah.
How come they come on mid-game?
It shouldn't come on in the game.
Just ask a question. Do you still want penalties at the end? Whatever the score. Whatever the score. Saudi? Saudi. No worries. Saudi. Definitely penalties, whatever the score.
Ser vi om någon tortilla, jongen?
Well, welcome back to this My Albion TV live stream of the Albion's opening pre-season encounter ahead of the 22-23 campaign. Much change side, 11 changes for the Albion, as you always expect in a pre-season game. Seagulls look a little bit like this in terms of team news. Kjell Sherpen will be in goal for the second 45. Looks as though it's a back four of Tarek Lamptey Adam Webster, Jan-Paul van Heck and Joel Veltman, who's taken the armband for this second half. In the midfield of Steven Alzate, Pascal Gross and the new boy Kasper Kozlowski, of course, knows this Union side very well. Signed from Pogrom Setchen in January and then loaned to Royal Union Saint-Gilloise for the second half of last season. And then up front, Andy Zakiri is back in from his Augsburg loan last season. He'll be alongside of Neil Mopé, and a first chance for the Albion to see Dennis Undav in action. The German signed from Royal Union Saint-Gilloise in January and then also loaned back for the second half of last season. As for Karel Gerrard's team in the second half, a few that are staying on the pitch. Burgess is going to continue at the heart of defence. There is a change up front though for the visitors. Dennis Eckert Ayenza is back in. That's Alzate to get us back underway now. The Blackburn loanee from last season, Jan-Paul van Heck, JP for short. Gets it back from Webster. This will be the first touch for Kasper Kozlowski. Just help out, dropping deep, similar to the role that his compatriot Karbovnik and also Lallana were doing in the first half. Too much on that though. Zakiri will keep it in on this near side. At full stretch there, Webster. Eckert Ayenza making sure that Webster had to do everything to get that back to Kjell Scherpen. This is Joel Veltman. Just checks back in field. Zakiri looks for the flick in field, trying to find Kozlowski, who made the run. Undav was over there as well. Wait goes on for his first touch. Over to the far side. The first touch there for Pascal Gross. Trying to bring into play Neil Mopé, asking for the free kick. And then the free kick given the other way. That's up against Souleymane Berardi. It's a little bit like resetting the clock in the second half. It's more like the second game. We're hearing as well that we're going to have penalties at the end of this one, no matter what. So that's something to look forward to and stay switched on for. And that was a little bit late there from Van Hecker. Just trying to impress as well, making sure he could win back the ball on the high line. JP Van Hecker, Netherlands under 21. Alongside his compatriot, fellow Netherlands under 21 international Kjell Scherpen, also called up to the senior side of the Netherlands at the expense of Tim Krul for his injury. Here now is Dennis Undav. Good chest control from him. Still had to bring it down quite quickly. It's now Lamptey back into Veltman. It does look like more of a back three with Veltman as the wing back on the far side, and on this near side Andy Zakiri. Kozlowski. Stepping in there was Neugebot, one of the ones to play on in this second half. Eckert Ayenza's gone down off the ball. Chance here almost for Berardi again, but stepping in were the Seagulls. They'll have the opportunity to drive on once again here, Union. Van der Heijden. On that far side, Lapoussin. Picks it up once more. Options on this near side with Ismail Kandus, who does pick it up now. Driving out to greet him is Kozlowski. Now Neugebot. Getting involved there with Zakiri, and does enough to win the throw-in. Zakiri just looking for, has got Webster back in here, goes short to Kozlowski. Good intensity about Union's play to win it back there. Van Hecker goes up for the challenge with Eckert Ayenza. Getting a little bit more tasty out there for a friendly, both sides jumping in. This now is Neil Mopé. Looks up into the area. Making the run from fullback was Joel Veltman. Lamptey over there won't be able to keep that one in though from Joel Veltman. But again, pretty bright start to this second half. Seagulls will travel abroad for next week before their next pre-season game, which will see them take on Reading away from home. There's a good chance there though for Neil Mopé just to try and bring in Dennis Undav. Really tricky on a day like today to tell the difference between Undav and Mopé. Meanwhile, here's Eckert Ayenza looking for the bodies in the middle. And lays it on a plate there for Nielsen. Left for Donny, and then sliding in there was Van Hecker. Cries for the penalty right on the edge of the area. Play goes on. This is Dennis Undav outside of the boot. That was smart play there to find Lamptey, who just smashes it straight into the midriff of his opposite number. And again, making the run on this near side is Kasper Nielsen. This could be really dangerous. Webster needed to step in there. Eckert Ayenza was lurking once more. So decent tempo about the opening 5 minutes in this second half. A chance now for Union to pen in their hosts. Combination of Webster, Zakiri and Undav do enough there. Now Kozlowski rolls it along and over to Pascal Gross. Faced up there by Lapoussin. And now those in yellow just drop off ever so slightly, which means that Pascal Gross can look up. Undav had made a run in field, but instead Alzate picks it up and switches it over to Webster. Ahead of him is Kozlowski, who he finds. Kozlowski, who's the youngest ever player to play at the Euros, the delayed Euros from last year for Poland. He'll make an impact in the Premier League this season for the Albion. Here he is now. Lays it off to Zakiri, just invited forward on this near side. Infield it goes now to Undav, who's just dropping that bit deeper. Over to Alzate. This is better build-up play from the Seagulls. Webster. Now it's Kozlowski. Floated over towards the back post. Just hovering there was Pascal Gross, but it doesn't beat the final man. Clearance away as far as Van Hecker in on Eckert Ayenza. Gets it at the second time as well. Alzate. A more sustained smell of pressure here from the host. This is Neil Mopé. Gross once more. He's got Lamptey to the side of him. Instead looks for the ball in towards Mopé. Lamptey has stayed up. Just loses out there though against Lapoussin. But then one back really well. Now Undav. Just trying to pass their way out and back in towards the middle. This will fall to Dennis Undav though. Just looked around him before the ball fell to his feet. Maybe dwelled on it a little bit too much. And then Alzate's pass is loose. So a chance here for Union to break. Again, the hyper turquoise shirts surround those in yellow and just stutter the progress. Wilson was able to get something on it, but then Brighton can just overturn possession, start again with Sherpen. This now is the second half skipper, Velt. Gross is over there too. Despite the fairly zippy start to this opening 8 minutes of this second half, starting to calm down ever so slightly now. This is Joel Veltman. Dennis Undav is over on this near side, now makes the run. Instead it's played over to Zakiri. For his loan spell with Augsburg, he was utilised in the Premier League as a wing back on occasion. Probably, if you asked him, prefer being an out-and-out striker. Plenty of competition now for that place. Loic Lapoussin just dispossessed there by Veltman. Undav trying to get it under his spell. This is Burgess. Now into Lapoussin. Donny over there. Another one to have played into this second half. Given away. This now is Mope. Wriggles away and twists out of trouble, but maybe too much on that one to Andy Zakiri. Indeed, he does go out for the throw in on this near side. But good hold-up play there from Neil Mope, and then able to twirl away and try and find that outlet for Swiss international. Well, Union just remaining very deep for the time being, which means that Webster now looking up in USG territory, squares it over to Veltman. The bank of the midfield and the bank of the defence doing their job. We'll add to that the bank of the attackers who are staying deep as well. Mope into Alzate. First time from Kozlowski. Now then, chance for Mope to turn and drive forward. Making the run is Kozlowski. Picks it up well. Held off a number of yellow shirts around him. Now Alzate. Helped on over to Tariq Lamptey. Ball into the box looking for Mope. Nodded away. Now a chance for Eka Ayenza. Retreating really well though. Good recovery that from Lamptey. Just wasn't able to find the ball over to Undav. Again, just clicked up a notch or two in the tempo of this game. JP Van Hecker able to win that back from Berardi. Now Undav against his former colleagues. Can't keep hold of it for too long there. This is Berardi once more. Backing now to Nuvku. Played back by Cameron Puertas. Clearance away by Morris is going to go all the way over to his opposite number, Sherpen. So a little bit of a waste there for Union. And again, true to form, just trying to stay disciplined in their shape, wait for their opportunity. Alzate square left now to Webster. Tucked in over on that far side is Lamptey, who'll pick it up now. Gives it back to Veltman. Again, this is good patient passing play here from the hosts. Alzate. Oh, and that's a neat first touch there from Zakiri. Opponent goes down, still going. Bit of an aimless ball in, was looking for Mope or Undav. Retreating there is Kozlowski. Well, the cries in the middle. A lot of the Albion players close to proximity thought that was a little bit soft. Thought that Kozlowski just got able to wrap his foot around the ball and win it back. Free kick though. As we approach the hour mark, we are still waiting for the deadlock to be broken. you're just joining us here, in the first half you missed Julio Enciso's first appearance in a Brighton shirt. Looking pretty bright in his opening 45 minutes of his Seagulls career. Closest he came was from a free kick and 25 yards out or so. Forced Anthony Morris in the Union goal into action, down to his right. A couple of really good chances though for the hosts in the first half. Van Zer and Nuvkut with the best of them. But Union really sticking to their task and hoping that an opportunity like this will open up. Eka Anyenza though just forced to do the hold-up play in his own half, and that's good work to haul that possession into Brighton hands. And Neil Mope. Now Webster is almost operating as a deep line midfielder. Kozlowski though just hit it into the man in the yellow shirt, but once again gifted possession back, just getting a bit sloppy from the visitors. A thumping challenge over there on Tariq Lamptey. Well, Lamptey getting more than stuck in there. Felt the effects of that, but he's on his feet. Well, there's a deflection on that, so this will be a Seagulls corner from over on that far side. Gross it is to take it. Webster's there, so too is JP Van Hecker, both rising high. Decent connection, a decent save from Anthony Morris. And now it is the Seagulls asking more of the questions. Alzate skips away from one, then Burgess, it rebounds into him. Ball then does fall. Eventually for Nuvkut. Played across from Nielsen. And in the opposite half, this is where the Seagulls are very calm, but always under pressure in this second half. Union, there's Webster getting involved midway through the USG half. They do managed to find a way back to Morris. The Seagulls look as though they want to make this momentum and pressure pay with the opener this evening into the last half an hour of the game. Decent challenge that from Stephen Alzate. Good hold up and then a prod across from Deniz Undav. This is Gross on halfway. And once more it's the Seagulls who can dictate the tempo. That's forced Zakiri back a little bit further than he wanted off that ball from Webster. And Union just reluctant to apply the pressure and get in the faces of the Seagulls defenders. So once again, Alzate can look for the ball out on this near side towards Zakiri, easily cut out by Nuvkut, but it only finds Mope. Lays it off once more to Zakiri, former Juventus youth loanee. Excellent spread of play that from Kozlowski. Pinpoint accuracy to find Lamptey. Step over, then drops the shoulder, trying to get the better of Donny. Now Gross. Could this be the moment? Veltman floats one out to the chest of Zakiri. He goes for one with the outside of his boot corner. Well, just injecting a little bit more pace into it there. And it fell for Zakiri. Looked as though he was trying to go for that with the outside of his boot, trying to find that far corner. Wasn't a bad effort, but the Union man able to get himself in the way of it. We're going to have this corner first, but we've got a number of substitutes below me here for those in yellow. So it's Pascal Gross who will take this. And goes up towards that front post. There was a flick on it from Webster. Still not completely clear yet. Gross has stayed over there. Kozlowski was getting involved, but it does now go behind for a goal kick. Now hang on to your hats, here come the substitutes. So we're going to have a change of goalkeeper. Joachim Imbrechts is going to come on to replace Morris. It's the end of Christian Burgess's evening as well. Chance for Marcel Lewis. Also coming on there, Ross Sykes, recently signed from Accrington Stanley. Chance also for Nathan Hoijgevelde. Number 3 there is Victor Boone. And that is Mohamed Salah making his way onto the pitch. So no, you did hear that right, Mohamed Salah against Brighton Hove Albion in the opening pre-season game. Down the line it goes. Joe Sherpen is going to be forced out of his area, but under not too much pressure, so he can bring it back towards his area and then just allow his defenders to take over. So a couple of English players on the pitch now for Royal Union Saint-Gilloise. Marcel Lewis, former Chelsea youth, spent the second half of last season on loan at Accrington Stanley, but meanwhile this is Andy Zakiri making good progress on this near side. Felled in there by Kasper Nielsen. And how Julio Enciso would probably wish he's still on the pitch, but all good because Kasper Kozlowski was interested, just trotting away now. Pascal Gross it will be, with the ball in hand. And they have looked the most likely on this near side, certainly with creating the chances, most creative with Andy Zakiri. Again, not really his favoured position, but Graham Potter's obviously seen the potential of him utilised as a left wing back here this evening. And as the clock ticks past 66 seconds, a chance for Pascal Gross, the set piece specialist for the Seagulls down the years. 44 Premier League goal involvements. Can he break the deadlock here this evening? Gross goes low, slight deflection. Easy enough claim for Imbrechts in the Union goal. Making progress on this near side there was Ross Sykes. Easy enough and comfortable enough for Brighton to deal with. So JP Van Heck, first time ball back from Gross. Again, just hugging the touchline on this near side. Out of your picture is Zakiri, ready to be sent along. And now Alzate will try to pick him out again. Superb ball, excellent touch, but just doesn't stay on side there, Zakiri. Well, every time play opens up, Zakiri immediately just jumps on the touchline, waits for the ball across to him. Eckert trying to get away from Van Heck, and then Alzate brings into play Berardi. Now flying forward there is Marcel Lewis, just brought down right on the edge of the area. Referee says fairly, so just a goal kick. Now, can USG ask a few more questions about that Albion rearguard? Decent side-footed clearance from Sherpen, but then can't be kept in by Ross Sykes. So we're saying about Marcel Lewis, one of the Englishmen on the pitch. Ross Sykes also hailing from Burnley. 10 years with Accrington Stanley, signed for Union last month. 99 appearances in League One, 131 senior appearances already for Ross Sykes, a 23-year-old. Veltman goes back home to Sherpen, and again they won't want to smash anything long just for the sake of it here, the Seagulls. Kozlowski looking for the switch. Headed down well by Lamptey to keep hold of it. Back over now to Gross. Lamptey's made the run. Not on now, so instead Alzate will pick it up. He can move across, maybe look for the switch over once more to Zakiri. Does eventually find Zakiri. That's a decent first touch from Switzerland international. Now Mopé just trying to find a yard of space and just hold off his opponents. Defending well though. This new look Union rear guard. Imbrecht's not able to keep it in, so it will be a Seagulls corner. Just peer over around the corner to try and keep our eyes on this. Meanwhile, off the ball, looks as though Kozlowski's gone down. Needs to receive some treatment. Well, we'll just wait to see the prognosis here for Kozlowski. Chance then for Lamptey just to come over and refuel. The rest of the Albion players, or the vast majority of the outfield players, in the Union danger zone. So the countdown really does start here for the Seagulls 22-23 campaign. A little over 28 days to go until the Premier League season kicks off away at Old Trafford on the 7th of August. I'll have you covered across My Albion Digital on BrightonHoveAlbion.com. But we've still got 20 minutes to go here of this pre-season opener. Pascal Gross it will be, goes short this time and then sends it towards the back post. It may fall in there for Mopé, then Van Heck stayed up, who it rebounded to. Another block from Union. And now they try to counter over on the far side. Some excellent blocks from USG. And now maybe a chance to do something even better. This is Aka Ayensa. Just trying to fashion the chance, fashion a yard of space away from Webster. And then eventually Sherpen able to gratefully claim. Well, action at both ends of the pitch there. Couple of half chances well blocked by the Union defenders. An excellent break down the middle from Union. Eckert was fairly isolated for a moment, did really well to hold the ball up, just shrug off the Brighton defenders. And in the end it was a fairly simple enough stop for Kjell Sherpen. Helped on by Webster. Zakiri looking to get the better of Salah. This is Alzate. We're also awaiting an appearance here this evening for Teddy Jenks, who spent last season on loan successfully at Aberdeen. We'll be moving on in the next stoppage of play. Veltman just drops the shoulder, drives forward. No foul there, play goes on. A few more rather industrious challenges going on as we enter into the 73rd minute. Mopé loses out there. Now then, a chance for Eka Ayensa. Players to his left and right. This will fall to Puertas. Oh, and then thumbed it over by Eka Ayensa. Fell for him really nicely on the edge of the box. But he doesn't get his foot over the ball. It's decent enough strike. Just well over Kjell Sherpen's goal. So another decent half chance. They may not have dictated play and held onto the ball all that much this evening, Union, but 2 or 3 excellent chances at goal. That was one of them. Teddy Jenks is now on the pitch. Trying to work out who he's made way for, as is always the fun and games in the pre-season friendly. Well, this could be another really good chance. Let fly, and Sherpen had his eye on it from the angle. Good run in from the left flank. And again, they're giving him a decent workout the Netherlands international. This is Undav who's dropped deep on this left flank. Loads of space over there now for Lamptey. Chests it down. Overlapping run is made by Gross. Gross unable to keep hold of it, out for the goal kick. Underway again, so between now and the start of the Premier League campaign. Brighton will travel to Portsmouth after their trip abroad on the 23rd. Another behind closed doors friendly will be on the Tuesday the 26th of July, and then the final friendly before the Premier League start gets underway Saturday the 30th of July at the Amex against Espanyol. For all of that, Mopé there trying to find space on the edge of the area to let fly, but again, to their credit, looking to break in numbers. Union, Nielsen over to that far side now. Infield it goes to Puertas. Nielsen forced back all the way to Imbrechts, the young stopper. Good work from Teddy Jenks, who knows this ground very well. Prominent figure in the PL2 side for Brighton's under 23s for his loan to Aberdeen last season. Oh, and that's a bit behind Kasper Nielsen, so a bit of a gift here for the Albion with this throw-in. And into the last 15 minutes we go. Can the Seagulls find the opener and potentially a winner? Zakiri's made the run on this near side. Trying to skip away from his man. Just about stayed in play. Good defending over on this near side as well, and then Zakiri, well, made enough of a nuisance of himself. It's a Brighton corner. And trudging over there, Pascal Gross. JP Van Hecker's up. So too Joel Veltman. So too Adam Webster. Just lurking on the edge of the area of Tarek Lamptey and Stephen Alzate. This time no short corner. Lamptey will pick it up though. Wasn't really in a position for him to let fly on the half volley or any time quickly, so back he goes now to Alzate. JP Van Hecker forced back to be the outlet. Every outfield Brighton player still in the Union half. Now Webster looking up towards the edge of the area. Left it goes over to Zakiri. Well, Gross who'd stayed over there, sorry. Now then, what can Lamptey do? Just stepped on it though by Lapoussin. Again, another spell of sustained pressure as we all reach to try and block out the sun to our left. No cap today, bit of a schoolboy error. Mopé back to Alzate. Just trying to break out and press are the Union players, led by Nielsen. Oh, and that will allow in Mo Salah. Helped out by Ecker. Now a chance for Marcel Lewis, the Englishman. Overlapping is Berardi. Back in towards the middle. Brighton just about do enough again to prod it out for the throw on the far side. The difference in this second half, Union been breaking in numbers rather than necessarily just one or two in that first 45. Nipping in there again was Loic Lapoussin. Brighton throw. Ball played out towards Zakiri. Salah just needs to keep his eye on this. Does what he needs to, finds the ball back to Imbrechts. Floats it over to the far side. And then again a chance for Marcel Lewis to get away from his man. Just stepping in again neatly there, the Seagulls, and trying to keep their opponents pegged back. That really has been the tale of the evening. Union trying to break where they can, but other than that, stay disciplined in their shape. Now, Lamptey, infield to Undav. Does well to hurdle his man. In towards the area he goes, trying to pick out perhaps that far corner. Zakiri was well placed to the far side. In the end, it's a simple enough stop for Imbrechts. Puertas just dropping deep to help out. Incisive passing to make their way over to the far side. Marcel Lewis, infield it goes now, and that's well, it's not the greatest of challenges there from Neil Mopé. Never like to see a yellow card in a friendly, but definitely warranted there, very late on Lapoussin. Lewis again, he was able to find the ball back, ball just sticking to his feet. He's looked bright and decent so far in this second half. Left-footed from Imbrechts. Lamptey goes over there to greet Lapoussin, who's just moving a bit more gingerly now. Take the throw in though, infield it goes. Again, another good first touch that from Berardi. Trying to bring Lewis into play, and this is what Carol Garrotts will like to see. Obviously much further into their pre-season campaign. Only a couple of games to go. Sporting Portugal Wednesday the 13th, Feyenoord on Saturday the 16th. And then their season opener away to STVV Saturday the 23rd of July. So into the final 10 minutes. Now we start to see a few of the tired legs, even though it was complete change of 11 for Graham Potter's side in the second half. First action of pre-season. That's loose to Mopé, but he can't hang on to it. Second time of asking, Puertas does enough. Just getting that little bit more scrappy in midfield on either flank. That continues there. Mopé and Undav doing their level best to win it back wherever they can. This will be a chance now for Pascal Gross. Maybe Zakiri will want this from the switch. Instead it's just rolled forward by Veltman to Gross. Now Lamptey. First time infield from Mopé, who stayed deep. This is Joel Veltman. Looking for the run of Mopé. Just gets his toe end onto it. May fall to Jenks. That was an important challenge there on the edge of the area. Now Berardi tries to bring it down. Sliding in is Zakiri. And there is another infringement there on Salah. Clipped across by Ross Sykes. But it does just drift out of play. So can the Albion punish Union here? Alzate forced backwards once more. He's lost out there again to Puertas. And then as he tries to retrieve it, right in front of the referee. Well, a couple of yellow cards in quick succession there. First Mopé and then Stephen Alzate. Knew exactly what he was doing there. Lost possession. Not a million miles away off being a great challenge as well. Just got a bit too much of his man. Well, that's a neat turn from Sykes. Shrugs off a couple of Brighton players, but stepping in there was Stephen Alzate. Now JP Van Heck. Does well to move it infield to Jenks. Just about gets the square ball over to Gross, who prods it onto Lamptey. Now then, this could be decent for the Seagulls. Could be in business over on that far side again. Zakiri's the option on the left flank. Lamptey still goes though. In towards Mopé, outside of the boot. And that will be a goal kick. But Brighton moving the ball around incisively, bit better tempo. They got out of trouble on this near side deep, the left. Moved it infield. Got Lamptey going on the far side, just needed that finish there from Neil Mopay. But again, he was hassled and harried by the Union defenders. But as an overall workout, I think Graham Potter, Billy Reid and Bjorn Hamburg will be happy with this first showing from his two separate sides. Same, I'm sure, will be said from Carol Garrett's if the score stays the same. Clean sheet to boot. Lapoussin there, deep, doing the defensive work. Brighton do win it back though. Only for the moment. Now again, this is a chance for Lewis to try and get an attack going down that far side. So the Seagulls still plugging away. They do want to try and find a goal for their efforts and a win to open up in pre-season. Mopay it is that's felled there. Alzate picks it up from the quick free kick. Now Webster. Zakiri first time back to Webster. Oh, and that's a neat ball to Mopay. He can look up there as he was just entering the area, but again, in a flash, the Union defenders just stepping in every time. They've been disciplined and you have to say have earned their clean sheet this evening. But we do still have a little under 5 minutes remaining. A decent area of space there for Gross. Veltman can come and pick it up, keep the attack going. This now is Alzate. Dropping deep again, the visitors, as they have done for large swathes of this encounter. JP Van Heck now invited forward, looking for Undav. Mopay was there as well, but not for the first time. Decent challenge and telegraphed effort there from Union. Now Salah. Just bundled off it there by Teddy Jenks. That's a bit of a body slam there from Teddy Jenks. Nielsen looks up. Not too many volunteers that want to take it on, so instead he decides to have a crack at goal. Fortunately, Kjell Scherpen still switched on with just over 3 minutes to go. Watched it all the way. Saved some embarrassment there as it's hoisted forward towards Mopay. This is Gross. Does well at full stretch to find Jenks, who opens up those legs full stride. Now Mopay on the right hand side. Undav's in the middle. On the edge is Zakiri. But again, excellent defensive stuff that from USG. Really stuck to their task well to keep hold of that clean sheet so far. This is Alzate patrolling. Back in now to Webster. Now Gross. Further ahead of him is Lamptey, just feigns to cross, then a step over. Back in now to Alzate. Can they find a finish here, the Seagulls? Really digging in here, Union, but so too is Dennis Undav, does well to overturn possession. Now Jenks brings Webster into play. Over on this near side is Zakiri, instead looks over to the right. Falls back slightly as Lamptey there, but again, those defensive lines of yellow reappear. Veltman gets it back from Gross. Into the last couple of minutes. Veltman with the deep cross looking for Zakiri. Doesn't beat the last man though, so Nielsen can help out after the header from Berardi. Cleared up as far as Van Hecker, but he just got there too far ahead of Eka Ayenza. Striding forward, well-timed challenge that from Joel Veltman. It had to be, because Eka Ayenza once more showing his strength on a number of occasions. No free kick there in on Neil Mope. Play goes on. Oh, maybe just that the sun was in the eyes of the referee there. Oh, a little bit off-ball altercation there between Neil Mope. I think it's Nuvkup. No, it's Ross Sykes, who just clashed there with Neil Mope. Well, the Albion weren't happy that a free kick wasn't given, and Neil Mope especially, because it was against him. And now the referee's just trying to work out exactly what happened. Well, not exactly what you want to see in a pre-season opener, especially as we're into the last 60 seconds now. Make that the last 30 seconds. I can't imagine there'll be much in the way of added on time. Sykes then. Last few seconds here, and there is the final whistle from the referee. So no goals, but some new faces. Julio Enciso making his debut in the first half in a non-competitive capacity. We also saw Michel Karbovnik, Matt Clark, Denis Undav in this second half, and Jensen Weir making his return from Cambridge United. A few half chances, some decent chances in there as well for Union, but it's finished here at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Royal Union Saint-Gilloise Brussels 0. Just a chance again to see some of those highlights from this evening. After the Pascal Gross corner, Webster and Van Hecker rising highest. I think it was Webster who leapt highest there, as we see another angle here as well from Pascal Gross having a go, trying to go underneath the wall here. A similar kind of distance to Julio Enciso in the first half, who also forced a save from Anthony Morris before he was substituted off. And here there we'll see the save from Kjell Sherpen. Marcel Lewis there, I think it was, with the strike. Had a few saves to make there, Kjell Sherpen, but did enough. And as the sun sets here in Lancing, it's finished Brighton Hove Albion 0, Royal Union Saint-Gilloise.
Match day, nothing actually beats being there. The shirts, the scarves, the game of two halves, the smells, the sounds. Why you let it bounce?
Yes! The top of the keeper! Yes! And in!
Goals bottom corner, all in the top bins. Unstoppable headers, the last minute limbs.
It's the late show again from the Seagulls!
VAR and rules that are weird.
A team like Brighton.
And Graham's beard. Pascal's turns, massive hair. Big Rob saves, Trossard's flair. McAllister's flicks, mobile ticks, Lamptey's tricks.
You just can't get hold of him, can you?
And bicycle kick.
Oh, they've done it!
One of our own, Tony Bloom's Skoda, that guy Welbs, and of course Jakob Moda.
He's done it again! Neil Mope!
Match days, you love to see it.